Ed Getley and Annie Knowby, two survivors that very well complement each other, as well as other survivors that may be in your team. A lot of players may look past Annie and Ed, but both of them, once you level them up especially, become very powerful, very much a necessity on the team. Take a look. Let's start with Annie Knowby. Now, Annie takes a little bit of work in order to make her a significant fundamental piece of the team. She starts off on one end being a ranged buff, with her first ability being, when activated, this skill increases ranged damage from Annie and any teammates who are near her. So she starts off kind of buffing out people with guns, which is good because Ed is a hunter, and Amanda especially, if they are in your team, they're going to be causing a ruckus. And that, of course, leads into her second ability, which is you and your teammates dealing more damage with ranged weapons. And then the other half of Annie. See, this is where Annie starts getting interesting. Her first half of leveling is all about ranged stuff, right? But then as you start to level her, the other half of Annie starts to come out, starting with her Haymaker ability. Attacks by you and your teammates within this aura's effect radius cause more damage to the balance bar of basic evil units. So now, when the people are in your aura, they will start to put out some heavy hitting melee. So put some work into Annie, level her up. She will start to make your team into a beast as a leader. And then finally, once you get to level 25, I think this is where Annie starts to really make a significant difference for the team. Attacks by you and your teammates within this aura's effect radius cause more damage to the balance bar of elite and boss evil units. This is where Annie starts to become a badass. With the balance bar being affected and you having Annie nearby, she is now, you got ranged weapons, first of all. So if you have Amanda or Ed with balance bar buffs on their weapons, on their perks, so you got that combined with Annie's balance bar attacks, plus the increased damage. You guys, don't look past Annie. She's a good leader buff. So definitely give her a look. I'm going to skim over my active skills here and perks on the tree. You can take a look at what I have active. There is so many different kinds of builds you could probably do with her that make her effective. Right now I have her in sort of a melee and ranged build, and I have her aura affected to make it better for everybody on the team. So she's very self-explanatory buff to use, but you can use her in various ways, which makes it really exciting. Moving on to Ed Getley. Now, Ed Getley is also a very strong survivor, you guys. Let me explain to some of you, because some people are confused. When activated, this ability grants use of a unique flashlight that allows you to detect and temporarily disarm demon traps. Now, you guys, when I first read this, I thought it was only the crates, but it's not just the crates. It is the traps. Now, see, especially if you've never played Demon before, you're not going to know what these traps are. You're just going to think it's the crate traps, but it's more than just the crate traps. So what his special flashlight does, you guys, is it disables any area where a demon is able to place a trap. It doesn't disable active traps. It does, but it will disable the trap even if it's not have been used yet by the demon. So say you drive to an area where the demon's not at, it will still deactivate all the traps that is potentially usable for the demon. So it'll disable active and non-active traps. So when you're running around areas with Ed, make sure you run around the doorways, the areas around the house that you know potentially will have a trap, which is usually the doorways and close proximity areas around the sides of a house or area. You'll get used to these areas once you see them enough. But let him be the front lead. Let him lead the pack, disable all the traps. These are very good for cases where you want to loot near the end game and the demon already is hounding you. Let Ed go first to disable the traps. The demon won't be able to use it. You can loot in peace and get those extra shimps, get those extra bit of weapons built back up, the amulets, all that good stuff, without stuff popping out in your face like crazy. You guys, Ed is a good member of the team in this case for getting some late game looting done. His second one, Enduring Light, increases the battery life of your flashlight, which I've never seen the flashlight run out of battery life during a match, even if I've had it on the whole time. So this one, I guess, just guarantees that you're never going to run out of flashlight. Moving on to the third, Weapon Master, Crossbow. The crossbow has a faster attack speed and deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. So this means you're going to want to get that crossbow in Ed's hands. Now, not only is he disabling traps, but now he's really going to become a heavy hitter with the crossbow. This is exciting. This makes me love Ed. I've been playing him, and I didn't think I was going to like him at first, but man, now I love him. He has great voice lines too. I got one more level to go before 25, but looking down at his 25 increases the chance that defeated enemies will drop items. Also improves the chance of finding crates of higher rarity. So I'm assuming that by starting with an Ed in your group, it's going to spawn more rare crates as long as you're level 25. So dude, this is good. This is a really good survivor to have on your team, especially at level 25, because you're going to be finding more epic, rare, and legendary crates. This is good for the entire team. He keeps everybody safe from traps spawning in your face, and this is, Ed's fun. He's good. Don't overlook him, you guys. Annie and Ed together with Annie's ranged buff attacks plus melee buffs and Ed keeping everybody safe. The other two survivors that are with them, they're going to be having a great time, because you got all these buffs going on. You got Ed finding rare stuff around the map. You got him also disabling traps when you need to loot when the demon is present. Good team. They complement each other, and that's why I did both of them at the same time here. And that's pretty much it with those two. Ed and Annie together make a solid team. And their archaeologist lore kind of goes with their characters, and I love how it mingles all together really nicely. You guys, I'll see you later in the next one. We're getting closer and closer to doing the ashes. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.